With the Walmart app, you can squeeze in those final days of summer and nail that back-to-school shopping list. So keep working on that tan and let Walmart Express Delivery handle the rest. Chromebooks, Clorox wipes, Sharpies, glue sticks, pens, pencils, and more. All delivered in as fast as an hour. So pour yourself another iced tea. Summer's not over. Last-minute back-to-school supplies delivered fast. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new. Subject to availability. Fees and restrictions apply.
As a sports fan, I have to confess. Sometimes the game gets kind of boring. That's when I unfold my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 and use multi-window viewing on its large screen. Boring game? I'm checking out my fantasy baseball league at the same time. Score still 1-0? I'm replying to emails in the other window, scoring points with the boss. Semifinals finally getting exciting? I'm buying tickets to the finals and booking my flights. Can your phone do that?
The new Galaxy Z Fold 7. Get yours at Samsung.com.
Gatorade is the #1 proven electrolyte blend designed to hydrate better than water. So you can lose more sweat and raise your game. Gatorade, is it in you?
This episode is sponsored by Friskies, who would like to tell your cats hi. Now, if that didn't get your cat's attention, there is one thing that always does the trick. Just pour some Friskies crunchy food in the bowl and you'll hear those paws come running. Works every time. With so many Friskies choices, you can always bring your cats running from their secret napping spots. There's always more to explore. See for yourself at friskies.com or visit your local store.
My cat Freddie loves to be brushed and cuddled. But stirring up his cat allergens meant sneezing and itchy eyes. Then I found Purina One Live Clear. It's cat food that reduced the major allergen and my suffering in as little as 21 days. Now, we feel closer than ever. If you have issues with cat allergens, you really need to try Purina One Live Clear.
Try new Purina One Live Clear today. Purina One, a difference from day one.
Hello and welcome to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. We are so excited to bring you this show.
Our podcast is all about unraveling all of your favorite mysteries from the Assassin's Creed games. Each episode we'll be talking about a different topic in the Assassin's Creed universe. From Pieces of Eden, solar flares, and the Isu, to the Hidden Ones, the Order of Ancients, and of course, the Animus. We will seek to uncover it all.
So join us and maybe even take a leap of faith.
Hello and welcome to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. My name is Shelby. You might also know me as She-Cup, and we are here today to talk about some more Assassin's Creed lore. But before we get into it, I'm joined here with my co-host.
Hey, I'm Austin, also known as Teacup.
Yes, you are. So Austin/Teacup, what are we talking about today?
So today we spent the last couple of episodes over in Europe. And today we're traveling east. We're going to East Asia, Southeast Asia. No, well, not really Southeast Asia, just East Asia. To talk about the Chinese rebirth and Japanese expansion.
Awesome. This is an area of the world in Assassin's Creed lore that I really know nothing about. So I'm excited to dive in.
Yeah. So are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So the Chinese rebirth, and just so you know, this is going to contain spoilers for the Assassin's Creed Embers film and the Assassin's Creed Chronicles China game. And so if you are planning on playing those or watching that movie and you don't want to be spoiled, go watch those and then listen to this episode. But just forewarning you, there will be spoilers regarding those two things. So during the reign of the Zende Emperor of China, the Assassins and Templars both held presence in the imperial court. And so when the emperor dies in 1512, a group of Templars known as the Eight Tigers seized power in the imperial court. They installed the Jiajing emperor as their puppet, and they planned to eradicate all assassins from the capital of Beijing. Unfortunately, these plans leaked to the concubines of the imperial court. One of those concubines was Shao Jun, who we know later as an assassin. So Shao Jun learns of the planned attack against the assassins in Beijing and warns the Chinese mentor Wang Yaming. So Yang Ming attempts to strike back at the Eight Tigers, but his attempt fails and leads to an event called the Great Rights Controversy, which is kind of like a mini purge in the area. And Yang Ming is kind of late in reacting because he attempts to strike back instead of fleeing when he first learns of the attack. He now has to scramble to try to evacuate the assassins from their stronghold, which is called the Forbidden City, and to have them go into hiding. So he's in this effort, he steps down as mentor and is succeeded by someone named Zhu Yang, who succeeds him as mentor and basically trains Shao Jun as an assassin. And so as the Tigers' hunt for the assassins continue, Zhu Yan and Jun leave China for Italy, seek the aid of Ezio Auditore da Firenze, which is where the movie Assassin's Creed Embers picks up. Now, you might be asking, if you've seen that film, you're like, well, there's no one with Shao Zhang when she arrives at Ezio's villa. She's alone. And that's because Zhu Yan dies in the travel there. And so she's the only one who arrives at Ezio's villa in Tuscany, where Ezio is very reluctant. He is old and he wants to retire and he wants to live his life with his wife and his children and to be left alone and not bother with any of this assassin Templar nonsense. But as we know, Ezio can't just walk around and let Templars do what they want to do and not help his fellow assassins. And so he does train her and aids her in understanding an artifact known as the Precursor Box. And then Jun returns to China in 1526, joining forces again with Yang Yangming to rebuild their brotherhood. And so there are no assassins when they begin this journey, when Assassin's Creed Chronicles China comes out. And so basically Yang Ming and Jun are the only ones working against the Eight Tigers. And so they travel across all of China to try to take down the Eight Tigers. And though they initially have success, they kill 4 of the 8 tigers. Their leaders, Zhang Yang and Hui Ju, kill Wang Yangming in 1529. Shao Jun continues the fight, ultimately killing Zhao Yang during the Mongol attack on the Great Wall in 1532. Despite having lost the box, Jun rebuilds the Chinese Brotherhood as the new mentor, finally ordering the death of the Beijing Emperor in 1567. And that's the rebirth of the Chinese Brotherhood, and that's really all we know. I don't know, because I wasn't part of the beta. I don't know if Assassin's Creed Codename Jade will deal anything or have any kind of references to the 8 tigers or what's going on in there. I know that it is set before this. Jade is set way before this, because I believe it's medieval China, and this is kind of Renaissance, verging on the colonial period China.
So I have a question. So the 8 Tigers is basically like the Templar organization. It's like Abstergo. Is it literal, like 8 different Templars who make up like the leadership, or is that just a name?
There are 8 of them who are the targets for the game. Like there are 8.
Okay.
8 tigers, 8 leaders.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to clarify that because Eight Tigers, like, yeah, it's a cool name. It sounds pretty badass, but I was like, this could just be a name. Like, it may not be literal.
Yeah, and I'm sure it sounds a lot more intimidating in Mandarin or Chinese or other dialects of Chinese.
Probably. All right, well, are we ready to go to our mid-break?
Yeah, let's go.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contracts. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
This episode is brought to you by GM Genuine Parts and AC Delco. Get the most out of your vehicle with GM Genuine Parts and AC Delco original equipment. The only parts designed, engineered, tested, and backed by General Motors. You can find your perfect fit for most makes and models and choose from 3 tiers of parts, including GM OE or gold and silver aftermarket parts. Visit gmparts.com for more information.
Jif peanut butter. It's that jiffing good, it doesn't really need advertising. So instead, enjoy the calming sounds of the ocean. Jif. It's that jiffing good. Get your Jif at jif.com.
Makose! Shoot! Shoot the flying demon!
You weak fool! Get a job!
Christina!
Who's there?
Me!
Oh, it's you. I should have known.
May I come in?
Fine, but only for a minute.
A minute is all I need.
Indeed.
Well, wait, that came out wrong.
Okay, so first and foremost, we are here to thank our patrons. Thank you all so much for being patrons of the show. It's the number one way to support us. And if you are interested in coming on the show once a month, definitely join the Patreon at the $20 tier or higher. And the other lower tiers obviously have they have benefits as well. We'll read your name on the episodes and all kinds of stuff. So the next best way to support us is to leave us a review. And I do have one today from Veggie Lover, who said, "So happy I found my people, 5 stars. Recently found you guys. As a history enthusiast and gamer, I absolutely love you guys. I work in a hospital, which can sometimes be stressful, but I love the fact that one day I could be helping someone feel better. And in my ear, I hear, shoot the flying demon. Your breakdown of characters and connecting pieces and people together have made me enjoy the games even more. Just sent your podcast to my brother to listen to as well." Thank you so much, Veggie Lover, for listening and sharing the show. And anybody else who's listening, definitely go leave us a review if you haven't. The next thing we have to talk about and shout out is our Discord server. It's the best place on the internet. If you are playing Assassin's Creed Mirage and want to talk to other people about it, want to get questions answered, anything like that, definitely join the server. We have a place for Mirage spoilers. We have a place to talk about Mirage. We've got all of it. That channel's popping. So my next thing that I want to talk about, I am not playing Mirage currently because I'm playing Valhalla, but Austin is playing Mirage. It came out last week. What are your thoughts about it so far? Obviously, we're not going to do any spoilers right now on the podcast. We're going to talk in generalities. So if you haven't played and you're concerned, we might have spoilers. We will not have any spoilers. So Austin, what are your thoughts about Mirage so far?
Mirage is the successor to Syndicate, in my opinion. Combat feels and moves like it would be a natural evolution from Assassin's Creed Syndicate to this day. There are still some leftover mechanics that exist from the RPG trilogy from Valhalla specifically. And I think that's left over because Mirage was originally developed as a Valhalla DLC.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is exactly what was promised to us. It is a return to the roots of what this game was. There are a lot of references and abilities that are akin to the Ezio trilogy. Stealth is not optional. Very much feels that way if you are surrounded by like more than three enemies. You better either be really, really good at combat or be prepared to flee. It might be one of the harder games combat wise since probably Unity. I think Unity's hot combat is the hardest of all the Assassin's Creed games. This one comes close, but the story is good, voice acting is good, it looks beautiful, it feels very much like an Assassin's Creed game.
If you had to give it a rating out of 10, what would you give it right now?
A solid 8.
All right. All right. Well, I'm really excited to play it. Obviously, I'm still in my Valhalla playthrough. So I'm hoping that the timing lines up well as to where you have finished Mirage by the time I finish Valhalla, which I think is likely to happen. However, I have gone really hard in Valhalla this week. I have done a lot of arcs. Like I finished the Vinland arc, which I loved. That was amazing. Loved it so much. I finished a bunch of different stuff back in England. I finished Chaelbert's arc with him and Ivar the Boneless. Ivar is DEAD, very dead. Dag also is gone, thankfully. I've rescued Sigurd, brought him back. And I started something else. Now I can't even remember. So I've done a lot in Valhalla this week. Oh, and I went back to Asgard and Jotunheim, which I'm not enjoying. I don't like that. But that's where I'm at.
You've made it to Jotunheim?
No, I'm just doing those arcs right now.
Just so you know, you have to there is a real-time thing you have to do before you can get to Jotunheim. Like you have to go find new ingredients for a new potion to get to Jotunheim.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what any of that means.
So to get to Asgard, you had to gather ingredients to make a potion that Valka had you drink, and it sent you into a trance.
Oh yeah.
Jotunheim is a separate potion.
Oh, okay.
That's
fine.
You'll end the Asgard arc, have to go gather ingredients, and then you can do the Jotunheim.
Okay, well, right now I'm struggling to open a well, so I'm imagining it's going to be a while. So anyway, that's where I'm at in Valhalla. It's interesting enough. Like I said, I don't like the Asgard storyline at all. I don't like Odin at all. He freaks me out. I think he is very weird, and I don't like him hovering over my shoulder every time I assassinate someone. Like, go away. You are not the devil or an angel. Goodbye. I do like Basim in this. I don't think he's an asshole. Like, I've seen some people say that he's just kind of a dick, which I don't agree with. I am annoyed with Sigurd, frankly, because I think he is annoying. He is at least annoying me now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if any of those are hot takes or not.
I think either of those are hot takes. I think a lot of people get annoyed with Basim because I remember the game. I remember interpreting the game and playing, and it seems like Basim, especially in her first arc where we meet Folke, like Basim is kind of like egging Sigurd on to this path.
Mm-hmm.
And given what we know about Basim, I could see why people are like, "Oh, this is bad."
Yeah, I get that. I do get that. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I still have half the game to play, so we'll see what happens. But that's all I've got for the mid-break.
USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks, or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Visit USAA.com/bundle.
Bundle savings are off total premium, not available in all states or in all situations. To qualify, auto policy must be active prior to property policy issue, subject to change. Restrictions apply. Membership eligibility and product restrictions apply and are subject to change. USAA means United Services Automobile Association and its affiliates, San Antonio, Texas.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Malaka!
Malaka! Malaka!
Unless the legend is a lie, you are the man I long to meet. Renowned master and mentor. Ezio Auditore de La La La.
Prego.
Forgive me. I have a hard time remembering that Italian gibberish.
I'll see you all at the selection ceremony, ladies. I especially hope you show up.
Let me guess. He's rich.
Well, let's get back into it. So we're done with China. That's all we really know about China. And I'm sure we'll get more information about the history of the Brotherhood in China once Codename Jade is officially out and we get that story in there. So the Japanese expansion. So around the same time, after suffering a lot of defeats by the hands of the assassins, mainly by Ezio Auditore, in the early 16th century. Now, remember, the 16th century is the 1500s. That's when Ezio's all around in Rome and everywhere else. The Templars in Europe aim to spread their influence in new lands. So after this, by 1549, they set their sights on Japan under the guise of a Jesuit mission. Now, I'm going to pause here to kind of explain what the Jesuits are. So around the early 1500s, while Ezio's doing all this stuff, while all this stuff is going on in China, in Germany and the Holy Roman Empire, the Reformation, the Christian Reformation is starting. And with Martin Luther and all of that stuff against the Pope and all of that going on, there's this big thing. And kind of another order arises up within the Catholic Church called the Jesuits. And they're kind of like, and if you're a Catholic historian person and you want to correct me on this, that's fine. But I have always referred to them as like super Catholics. They're super Catholics. Like they really want to be staunch defenders of the faith. And sometimes they used violence to defend the faith, specifically violence against Protestants. So they're not really a militant order, but they are an aggressive order of Catholics that kind of they're founding around the Reformation as kind of a response and counter to the Protestants who are breaking away from the Catholic Church. Anything you want to add about the Jesuits?
Didn't they play a role in the Spanish Inquisition?
I have no idea.
I don't know. But if you know of, there's a lot of universities that are named after Jesuits, like Loyola in Chicago, Xavier. I don't know where that is. I just know that it exists. Both of those are named after Jesuit priests.
Yeah, and there's one in Louisiana too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a Loyola in Chicago and Louisiana. I forgot about that. Yeah. So anyway, they're pretty important in history. They do a lot of important stuff.
So the Jesuits typically sent out missions to kind of basically think about, spreading Catholicism, making sure Catholicism was big. So obviously, let's go send Catholic missionaries to this land. So the assassins catch wind of this because they have a big presence in Europe during this time. And they're like, okay, we're going to go establish a presence in Japan to deal with these Templars. So this includes Chinese assassin Zhao Hu, who was granted leave by Shao Jun to go fight the Templars in his ancestral homeland. So the assassins immediately find allies in the Japanese ninja, from whom they learned new techniques. They made contact with the warlord Oda Nobunaga, which is a big historical figure in Japanese history. I'm not well versed in Japanese history, but I know that name appears a lot in the history of Japan. And so he promises an alliance with the Brotherhood as soon as he accomplishes the goal of uniting the Furniture Company. So he has a big goal, kind of similar, like if you've done other things like, Alfred of Wessex's vision of a united England, Otto von Bismarck's united Germany, all these kind of people who kind of go up with this dream of uniting these countries. It's all kind of happening in this time. And so this is just another one who wants to do that. So the assassins don't trust him. They make an alliance with his ally, Tokugawa Ieyasu, who had an ally as a master assassin. So assassins, while battling Templars, they also aid in Tokugawa clan, the clan becoming the eventual rulers of the land. To this end, the master assassin Hattori Hanzo killed the rival warlords who held a Sword of Eden, which subsequently wound up in Oda Nobunaga's ownership. So now he has a Sword of Eden, and the assassins have kind of burned him as an ally at this point, and now he has a Sword of Eden.
So at this point, he is an ally of the assassins.
Yes, he has not come out as a Templar yet. I don't think he does. He does not. And so 5 years later after this, the Master Assassin, Hanzo, also killed a warlord who had been recruited into the Templar Order. Assassins discover that Nobunaga was going to be attacked by his vassal. He was going to be betrayed. And so the assassins protect, obviously, the clan and the leader and their allies, and they kill Oda and amidst the chaos and retrieve the Sword of Eden. The Chinese assassin Li Yan then transported the artifact away from Japan.
So why did they kill him? I don't understand. Because he had the Sword of Eden? I thought he was their ally.
He's not their ally because they kind of don't trust him and they burn him. He's not really a Templar, but he is still like seeking that kind of thing. He wants to rule, he wants control, and the assassins are backing their allies.
But I thought he was their ally. I guess I'm just confused.
He once they establish the Tokugawa clan as leadership, he no longer wants to be their allies because they're his rival.
Okay, so Nobunaga was a ally of the assassins, stopped being an ally of the assassins, got a Sword of Eden, and then they killed him and took the Sword of Eden.
Correct.
Okay, I got it now.
And so they continue to operate, and obviously this assassin, this Hattori Hanzo, he is working and like he's the one doing a lot of the work in Japan and making all of these things happen. He's kind of their Ezio in this situation. And so he also continues to kill like former spy masters who are trying to run the Templar cause. So there's this similar thing going on with Japan and everything going on where the assassins kill someone in the Templars and then the Templars continue to work behind the scenes and they have to keep rising up and rising up. It's just a turmoil that never seems to stop. But the assassins are almost always firmly in power. The Templars just like keep rising up and doing stuff. But in 1596, Hanzo is killed by a rival ninja named Fuma Taro. So Nobunaga eventually does take over from the clan, and he gets a successor called Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Basically, the mentor of the assassins and the leader of the clan suspect that the successor and the new ruler of Japan played a part in the death of Hattori Hanzo. So they task Yamamuchi Taka with an investigation of his death, which led to the assassination of Tokiotimo Hideyoshi in 1598, who is the new ruler of Japan. So Japan, after the death of this, becomes super divided between basically the Tokugawa clan and supporters and Toyotomi's loyalists. And so this is another point where assassins seem to be on opposite sides at this point. So this leads to a big battle uh, in which the general Shima Sakan is killed by assassins to help ensure the Tokugawa's victory and consequently the foundation of the shogunate, which is the rule of the shoguns of Japan, which is another big moment in the history. And so the assassins continue to support the Tokugawa clan in the years following when Tokugawa decides to attack the last remnants of the Toyotomi clan. The assassins Hattori Masarian, who is Hattori Hanzo's son, fought at the side of Tokugawa during the conflict, but was also killed in battle. And so again, we see this model of Japan, of the assassins, like trying, again, I feel like our theme in these conflicts is watching the assassins try to play like Templars and not really doing what they're supposed to.
I guess I just feel like this story is so meaningless because they basically erase themselves and they basically eradicate themselves.
Yeah, I think one of the things that the assassins have to learn, and kind of just like what we all have to learn, and even like if you want to take an American standpoint in American history, what American has to learn is what works in one culture will not necessarily work in another culture.
Yeah.
So, like in Europe, having the backing of the European nobility and kind of doing that does kind of work because the European nobility are constantly fighting each other. So the assassins can kind of use hiding behind those nobles as a way to like guise their conflict and still work from the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
But taking that model and applying it into kind of feudal Japan, it doesn't really translate because there's not that kind of like secrecy and movement among the nobility of Japan. Like they just make moves. There's more open warfare in that.
Well, also like I guess with a culture where like the emperor is literally God, it's a lot harder to make machinations behind the scenes.
Yes. And so I think that one of the things that I hope we see in Codename Red, because this episode really has to do with kind of showing what we already know about these areas, which these next two Assassin's Creed games are going to be set in. It will be interesting to see how much of kind of from the ground the Assassin Brotherhood or Hidden One Brotherhood in Codename Red is. Because we know that there will be, at least from leaks a little bit, that there might be two different genders who have different approaches, one taking a more ninja shinobi route and the other taking the samurai route.
Yeah.
So it might be interesting how those play with each other.
Mm-hmm. This is totally off topic, but it's a question I just thought of. So with Jade and Red, they're in East Asia, right? We have origins in Africa. We have a bunch, obviously, in Europe and Odyssey in the Mediterranean. And we have several in America, too. And then we have Black Flag in the Caribbean. Do we have anything in South America at all?
Some of the comics go down there. One of Charlotte de la Cruz's ancestors is an Inca, and you follow them during that. So not in a game, but in a they've gone there in the stories.
Yeah, I feel like that's a major missed area of the world.
Yeah, I'll be interesting because there's rumors about the Assassin's Creed codename Hex
in South America.
I don't think it's in South America because I heard rumors that it's taking place during the Salem witch trials.
I've heard that, and I've also heard rumors about Eastern European witchiness.
Yeah. It would definitely be interesting to kind of figure out what's going on all over there.
Well, anyway, anything else that has to do with East Asia?
I think that these settings are going to be really profitable, but I don't want the stereotype, especially in Codename Red, of just like the glorification, because I feel like that's been done a million times.
The glorification of the samurai and the ninja, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I think that they need to be really careful with how they handle it. However, I feel like Mirage has been handled pretty well, and that's also kind of a I don't want to say it's kind of like an area that can potentially be controversial for some groups of people is probably the best way to put it. So they just need to handle it with care, and I think Mirage is, so far, what we've seen of it has been. So that's positive, at least.
Yeah. And one thing about Mirage before we go, I know I talked a little bit about it, but like the voice acting has been very good because it sounds as though the people who are voicing these characters are people of this like descendants and race and culture.
Well, I think it's safe to assume they probably are, since going back to AC1, at least, there is some of that as well.
Yes. And it's maybe a little spoilery, but like not too much. There's so much like Islam in this game, which makes sense because in the European games, we have so much Christianity, which also makes sense given the time period. And like, this is pre-Crusades. Like there's still a Christian presence in Baghdad, but it is largely Islamic at this point.
And like that's how it should be portrayed, because like that's just how it was, you know?
Yeah. But just the language and like how the assassins even have that adaptation, because the people who are part of the assassin orders come from that culture.
Right.
These are kind of one-off stories that are kind of just like, yeah, they beat the Templars and then that's all we know.
Right. Well, maybe they will come to play a part in somehow later.
Yeah, that's all I got for this episode. So I think we're ready to wrap up.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. You can find us on Twitter at AC Lorecast.
If you have any lore questions or topics to unpack, join our Cups Podcasting and More Discord server. It's the best place on the internet. You can also support us financially through our Patreon. Find us on patreon.com/Assassin's Creed Lorecast. The Assassin's Creed Lorecast is part of the Robots Radio Network. For more information about the Robots Radio Network, join the Discord server via the link in our episode's description.
If you enjoyed the show or learned something new today, please subscribe, leave us a review, and join the Patreon. And if you enjoyed our intro and outro music, make sure you give a big thank you to Pipeman Studios. Thank you, Pipeman! Thanks again for listening to the Assassin's Creed Lorecast. And always remember, Assassins, stay in the shadows to serve the light.
This episode is brought to you by FX's Alien Earth, the official podcast. Each week, host Adam Rogers is joined by guests, including the show's creator, cast, and crew, in this exclusive companion podcast. They will explore story elements, deep dive into character motivations, and offer an episode-by-episode behind-the-scenes breakdown of each terrifying chapter in this new series. Search FX's Alien Earth
wherever you listen to podcasts.
Want to live better?
We got a lot of work to do.
Join Chris Hemsworth in National Geographic's new Disney Plus original series, Limitless. Live better now.
I'm diving headfirst into cutting-edge science to uncover 3 powerful secrets to living better right now. The growth that occurs through any challenging experience is really what we seek.
Chris Hemsworth stars in Limitless. Live better now. Now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
It's showtime.